Failed former President Donald Trump was interviewed in what was supposed to be a complete and total softball interview by Fox News' Mark Levin, and Trump's brain appeared to short circuit. You could almost hear gears grinding to a halt as Donald Trump struggled for vocabulary, attempting to use the English language to convey meaning and substance, and failing very significantly. He does not seem to know what he is saying, talking about how he thinks God thinks he's going to fix our very sick country. See if you can unravel this mess of an attempt to speak English.
But no, I think you think like, if you believed in God, you believe in God more. And somebody said, like, why? And I'd like to think that God thinks that I'm going to straighten out our country. Our country is so sick and it's so broken. Our country is just broken. And maybe that was the reason. I don't know. I don't know.
It's perfectly logical and sensible to assume that God sent Trump to win in 2016, to lose in 2020, but to try to steal it, but fail to do so, to then get indicted, to remind people how poorly he's been treated so that then he can come back and save the country from the sick status it now holds in 2024. Perfect. I feel stupid saying it. Perfectly logical to think that that is what God did. Hilariously, Mark Levin frames up a question in a completely, it's actually a hilariously dishonest way to frame a question. Listen to this.
You've been a man of faith. You go to church.
Okay, both of those are lies. Trump is not a man of faith. His complete religious reawakening was fabricated to get into politics. He doesn't go to church. I looked. The last time I was able to find evidence that Trump went to church was December of 2021. For a man of faith who's deeply spiritual and believes in God, it's been almost 3 years since he stepped inside a church, other than just to give a political speech, that we were able to find.
You believe in God. Has this further your belief, your commitment, and obviously God, in addition to that chart, saved your life. He has a purpose for you.
Right.
Do you think about these things?
Saved Trump's life, killed an innocent bystander standing behind Trump, but hey, put that aside.
Well, I think you believe more because when you speak to experts, like my sons who are shooting experts, but when you speak to experts, they said there was no chance that he could have missed from that distance.
Right. He knows God saved him and killed an innocent bystander because his sons, who are experts in shooting, this is so stupid. His sons, who are experts in shooting, told him, oh no, you don't miss at that distance. Wow. Wow. If there were ever a more inspirational spiritual story that would reinvigorate anyone's belief in the higher power, it would be Trump's sons' opinions about shooting with rifles. Trump still seemingly confused about BleachBit, the software program, seeming to believe it's a physical substance like an acid.
Now, this is the United States. When it came to Hillary, you remember they subpoenaed her stuff and she BleachBit. That's where it's basically acid.
Yeah. Just as a reminder, Trump is confused here between software used to delete information from hard drives, like a software called BleachBit. Trump seeming to think that it is like dipping a hard drive in an acidic solution. Man, I feel stupid even having to explain this. So anyway, that's Trump still confused about that. Confusedly, Trump saying that the way Kamala Harris treated Mike Pence is horrible.
But I agreed to all these things that I normally wouldn't agree to. Now they have Kamala, who they say has many deficiencies, but she's a nasty person. The way she treated Mike Pence was horrible. The way she treats people is horrible. But the way she treated Justice Kavanaugh during that hearing, in the history of Congress, nobody's been treated that way.
So first of all, Kamala Harris's questioning of then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh was one of the better performances, actually trying to hold him to account and pin him down on what do you believe and what do you know. But the irony, the sick irony of Trump saying Kamala treated Mike Pence so horribly. Trump sent a mob to kill Mike Pence. And he says, oh, Kamala treated him horribly because of the things she said, I guess, during their debate. I don't even know. Trump addressing the word progressive. This is actually pretty funny.
With them because they're Trump haters at the highest level, and CNN is a Trump hater. Basically, they're liberals. I don't like to use the word progressive. It's too pretty a word. It's such a pretty word. They're progressive. Progressive means you think into the future.
Yeah.
They're actually thinking to 3,000 years ago.
No. We are thinking about the future. That's exactly what we're thinking about. We're thinking about questions like, in the future, should there be people that just don't have health care? Is that something we should have in the future? I believe the answer is no. In the future, should there be hunger when we have so much food waste and producing more food than ever? Should there still be people who go hungry? I believe the answer is no. Should we have poverty and people below a certain standard of living in the future? No, that's what it means. It is progressive. We are thinking about the future. And Trump's sort of like having a moment there where he's like, wait a second, that I can't use that word because that actually sounds like they're thinking about the future, which we are. And then finally, in this ridiculous softball interview gone wrong, Donald Trump confirming, I did interfere with the presidential election, but I should be allowed to do it.
Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it? You get indicted and...
You have every right to do it. They indicted me for interfering with a presidential election in which I had every right to interfere. Wait a second. I thought the argument was you didn't do it. Now you're saying you did do it, but it was wrong to indict you because you had every right to do it. I actually think sometimes the softball interviews go worse for Trump because his guard is down. Not that Trump is subjecting himself to seriously critical interviews. Check out that recent one with the Sean Davis, Navy SEAL dude, if you want to see an example. But the softball interviews almost seem to go worse, seemingly because his guard is down and he starts speaking extemporaneously and making no sense. Now, if you thought this interview was bad, we must look at Trump's rallies earlier this weekend. I've been using a Ridge wallet for years, long before they became a sponsor. I just love the slim, unique design. I used to have like one of those George Costanza wallets filled with stuff, and I said no more. It's just the essentials, and I'm getting a Ridge wallet, and it all fits in there. Ridge's RFID blocking wallets also protect your personal information from digital thieves. There's over 50 colors and styles, something for everyone, really. But Ridge is not just wallets. Ridge offers key cases, rings, phone cases, backpacks, luggage, and more. Ridge has over 100,000 five-star reviews from satisfied customers. And if you don't love your Ridge product, you have up to 99 days to return it. And Ridge provides a lifetime warranty, which is important for a wallet, something that will get a lot of wear and tear. Also, right now, Ridge is doing a huge sweepstakes where the winner can get a Hennessy Velociraptor, a gold-plated Cybertruck, or $100,000 cash now through September 13th. Many ways to enter the sweepstakes. You can enter for free at ridge.com/Pacman. And also, every dollar you spend on the Ridge website equals one entry into the sweepstakes. Go shop Ridge's lineup of awesome products. Enter the sweepstakes. The link is down below. And thanks to Ridge for sponsoring.